All right, now look, today I'm going to show you guys how I like to make flan de queso. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. I do love me some traditional flan, but this one right here, this is always going to be my favorite. So go on ahead, get your pen and notepaper, because today you will learn how to make yourself some bomb flan, okay? Just follow your boy, Simply Food by TY, and I got you covered, honey. Let's go ahead, let's get into it, chat.
All right, y'all, so before we get too far into making our flan today, let me show you guys exactly what you're going to need, because there's actually not that many ingredients, so let me just run it down. You're going to need a can of evaporated milk. Now, this can is 12 fluid ounces. You're also going to need a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. I like to put in a half a tablespoon of vanilla. If you don't like yours really vanilla forward, then you can reduce that to about 1 or 2 teaspoons. But I really, really love the vanilla in mine because, again, today we're going to be making flan de queso. Now, again, I enjoy traditional flan, which is without cream cheese. But my favorite way of enjoying flan is flan de queso, which is including cream cheese. And we're only going to be using a half a block. So we're going to be using about 4 ounces. We have 1 cup of sugar here. That is what's going to get us that delicious caramel sauce that is just traditional with any form of flan. Now, for the eggs, this is what I like to do. I like to use 4 egg yolks and only 1 whole eggs. That's going to make sure that we end up with a beautiful texture. Now, everybody has their different way of making it, but that's just how I like to do it. And that also depends if I'm making flan de queso versus making traditional flan. When I'm making flan de queso, again, which is with the addition of the cream cheese, the 4 ounces, I like to use 4 whole egg yolks, large, and only 1 entire eggs. Now, these are pasteurized eggs, which are a little bit more expensive, but I just find that the quality of egg does make a difference. But again, you don't have to get hyped up on that. Now, you see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Come on. And just to let you guys know, I will be making my flan in a traditional flan pan here. Now, of course, you do not have to use this, but I will say using this pan does make a little bit of a difference. In my opinion, it just allows it to cook a little bit more on the evenly side. By having these attachments here on the side, you're able to really latch it down, which really allows it to steam so that custard just cooks up evenly, beautifully. And then you also don't have to really concern yourself with any of the water getting inside of it, because in order to make a perfect flan, you've got to make sure that you cook it in a water bath. So this is the pan that I'll be using. I found this pan right on Amazon. If you want to get it, all you have to do is just check out my Amazon storefront. Alrighty, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to make your caramel sauce. So I'm going to add 1 cup of white granulated sugar to a non-stick pan, and over a very, very, very low heat, I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to keep mixing this around. This process can take anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes. All you have to do is just stand here and just mix it so that it does not burn. Please be careful, because if you have never created any type of caramel sauce, sugar burns are nothing to play with. So just be extra, extra careful. Also, while I'm making this, I'm also preheating my oven to 350 degrees. Now, in my oven currently, I have a roaster pan that I have filled up with water, because once we get everything mixed together and we get our flan inside of the pan, we are going to bake this inside of a water bath. But you want that water to already be extremely hot to begin with. So while that oven is preheating, I have the water inside of that roaster pan already ready to go. And I'll remind you guys of that a little bit later on. So for now, I'm just going to continue to mix, and then I'll see you guys back in a few moments. Alrighty, so while we're waiting for our caramel sauce to, do what it does, we can go on ahead to a blender, add in the full can of the evaporated milk. Add that right on in. This is super, super easy to make, you guys. I know it seems intimidating, but I promise you it's not difficult at all. We're also going to now add in the full can of the sweetened condensed milk. Add that right on in. And just so you know, if sweetened condensed milk is really difficult to come out of the can like this, just put it in a bowl of some warm water and it'll just come out super easy. But we're also going to add in the 4 ounces of the room temperature cream cheese. It is extremely crucial to make sure that that cream cheese is room temperature, or the texture of it's not going to come out right. And then we're going to add in 1 whole egg. Like I said, 1 whole egg. Just add that right on in. And then we're going to add in 4 egg yolks. And then add in those 4 egg yolks. Get all of that goodness in there. And like I said, we're going to add ourselves in about a half a tablespoon of vanilla. Place the lid on that and blend it until it is nice and smooth. As you guys can see, our caramel sauce is completely underway now. Like I said, you want to make sure that you're just whisking this the entire time. Make sure that the heat is on nice and low. Once this is nice and smooth, we're going to quickly transfer this over to the flan pan so that we can make sure that we are evenly coating the inside. Now, some people like to add in a half a tablespoon of water to this so that you can get it nice and like smooth and silky. I find that a little bit dangerous because, again, if you've never had a sugar burn, you don't want to experience it. So I do not like to place nothing inside of this. I just let it go nice and slow until it's really smooth. Alrighty, so now that I have my caramel done, I'm gonna go on ahead and just get this directly into the pan before this cools down too much. As you can see, it's already starting to cool down, but that's okay, honey. It'll still do what I need it to do. Just be very careful though, because a sugar burn is nothing to play with. So just get it all in the pan and then we're gonna spread it around, make sure that it's nice and even. Now through this wire mesh, I'm gonna pour in our custard mix. You're gonna hear a crackling sound. Don't be terrified, it's okay. Sometimes it pops, sometimes it doesn't. And this is just to make sure that if there's like any lumps from the eggs, it kind of gets caught because you want it to be nice and smooth. I'm going to place the lid on this. I'm going to place this in the oven at 350 degrees for 1 hour. Like I said, I have a roaster here already with boiling water, and you're going to very gently place that down inside of that water and allow that to bake for 1 hour. Alrighty, you guys, it has now been 1 hour. I am now going to place this on top of a wire rack and allow that to cool off for about 2 hours, okay? 2 hours. Then I'm going to place it in the fridge and let that sit overnight. Alright, you guys, so it's the next day. So now that this has chilled properly overnight, now we can go on in and we're going to go around the edges of this with a butter knife. Oh, yes. I'm very interested to see how this has turned out. I'm just going to go around the edges just to kind of help loosen it up a bit. Just going to go around the edges just like so. So that way, when I flip this out on the plate, it'll come out nice and easy for me. I'm gonna flip this bad boy over onto this plate and let's hope this bastard come out right. And if it don't, you'll never see this video. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And to kind of help loosen up some of that caramel, I'm gonna take a really, really hot rag and just run it right across the top. You can also do it with a torch or a lighter, but this should be fine. All right, y'all ready? Let me just scoot it up just a little bit. All right, child. Let's see what we done. All right, come on out, bastard. Come on up. And just like that, my friends. And that, my friends, is how I make flan de queso. It looks great. You know, you can always work on perfecting your caramel sauce, but as you can see, it still turns out great. I'm really happy with it. Let's slice it up, shall we? All right, y'all, let's cut into this bad boy. Ooh,
Now, you can't tell me this don't look bomb. I mean, come on, y'all.
Nice and thick.
The texture, I mean, it just, I'm very, very happy
She is nice
with how this turned out.
Thick,
and you guys saw how incredibly easy it is to make. Yes.
Ooh, oh, look how she already ready to come out. It is early as hell in the morning, but we're going to go on for a taste test. Here we go. The consistency of this flan is so beautiful, I can't even describe it. It is Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.